The Weeknd's new album talks about the firmament, the end times, and the music industry taking singers to hell.
Yo, there's no way. What's scarier than the TikToks we're about to watch today is the fact that 90% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, so make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe for more creepy videos.
That something would happen during this gathering that would haunt them forever. Be sure to pay close attention, as no one had noticed it until looking closely. Take a look. As the camera pans over to the hallway, a shadow-like figure can be seen bolting down the hall at a speed beyond human capacity. Its rapid movement and dark appearance were enough to leave the family extremely unsettled. Viewers believe that this ceremony might have had something to do with the sudden appearance of this figure. They can't help but think that this may have been some sort of dark entity that was provoked by the ceremony. Not much info is given on this video, so it's hard to be sure if that's so. But whether paranormal or not, the sudden appearance of this dark figure is creepy alone. Just what exactly was caught on camera?
Given the situation and everything going on, it does appear to be some sort of spirit, because obviously this is a very religious gathering and they're praying. So, you can see it go by very fast. No person is moving like that. There should be nobody running around at a gathering like this. So it's kind of hard to tell what it is or who it is, but it was a dark figure that ran by the door. So it doesn't seem to be a very good spirit.
You know what the darkest conspiracy theory about aliens is? That Earth is essentially a farm and human beings are the vessels that contain souls, and they want us because this is how they create souls. And so they're farming us. They've created us. So we started off as primates, and through some sort of genetic intervention, I'm not saying I believe this. I'm just saying that this is like top of the food chain, put your tinfoil hat on super tight, that they farm us. And that the whole reason why human beings are involved in this conflict, constant conflict, it's all of it is to increase our competition with each other, increase our ability to control resources, which will increase our technology, which will ultimately lead to us creating this being that we're going to create.
Casanet went to Playboy Cardi's Rolling Loud performance, and he found out just how demonic shit really get. If I was Kai in that situation, and I seen what I seen from one of Playboy Cardi mans, I'm walking off the set. I don't give a fuck about no VIP. You and everybody else there that was on that Rolling Loud set was welcomed into that ritual. They even had to stop the set midway through because they said 10 people passed out. Look, y'all. People still don't understand. So as you heard, 10 people had passed out in the crowd during his set. I do not know if anybody had passed away, but that's crazy, y'all. This is the dude I'm talking about, though. Look at this. Look at this man, y'all. Watch what he throw up. He praising him right in front of everybody's face. Watch Kai. I'm telling y'all, this is what his music is about. It looked like hell on stage. I don't know what to tell y'all. That is not hip hop. That's scream hop. That's emo music. And I'm kind of upset at Kai. If you can make that face with your eyes big like this, and you like, what the is going on? Why would you still get on stage? You have the motion. You don't need that kind of motion. That shit turned that boy into an animal on stage. He ripped his tank top and everything, not knowing that that music is the reason why he was acting like that. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, and share.
The Weeknd's new album talks about the firmament, the end times and the music industry taking singers to hell. A couple of you guys told me to look at Timeless by The Weeknd and Playboi Carti. He says, city on fire when I'm coming home, fill up the sky, I fill up the dome, the firmament. They all know about the firmament. All the people fooling the masses, they all know. It's obvious to them, and they're laughing at us. I got a priest, he got a cross, get out of line, send him to God. I shed a tear, pray for a loss, oh yeah. So the video for this has some really interesting visuals. Here it looks like they're in hell, and take notice of this hell mouth. If you guys are familiar with Travis Scott's Astro World, he has very similar imagery. They're taking from this painting called Christ in Limbo. This is on the outer circle of hell. There's like a giant being that swallows people that are going to hell. And there's all different pictures of Hellmouth. Then we had a close-up of hell with the full moon in the background. Then a quick flash of a sign that says paradise. Playboi Carti flashing his pentagram necklaces. The Weeknd doing an Illuminati symbol. He did it like 5 times. This is just 2 pictures. But I want to draw your attention to the album. It's called Hurry Up Tomorrow. And the picture is him screaming in agony. But look at the song list. Wake Me Up featuring Justice. Until We're Skin and Bones. Baptized in Fear. Open Hearts, Opening Night, Reflections Laughing, Enjoy the Show featuring Future, Given Up on Me, I Can't Wait to Get There, Take Me Back to LA, Big Sleep, Give Me Mercy, The Abyss, Red Terror, Without a Warning, and then Hurry Up Tomorrow. Give Me Mercy. Conversations with the Sky, Mercy on My Soul, Things I Should Have Known, Master of Deceptive Lies. Every time I lost my way, I lost my faith. Devil Tricks with Paradise, None of It Is True. Fighting for Your Light, Hoping that it's worth all the bleeding. Big Sleep. Well, you used up your borrowed life and you wasted your borrowed time. Big sleep, you barely put up a fight, ready for the forever night. I can't wait to get there. The darkness keeps you shining. Just sign on the dotted line. I can't wait to get there. Guys, this is not just art. All Christians are screaming from the rooftops that we're in the last minutes of the end times. The entertainment industry has been putting subtle hints out, and now we have stuff that's this obvious. Stop listening to this crap and get right with Jesus. He is coming back soon.
Honestly, bro, this stuff is not even surprising anymore. They put it so much in our face and we just, kind of look over it. But these celebrities are very demonic sometimes, and they're giving us clear messages and we have to just pick up on it. But you never know how this stuff can affect you and the energy it may bring into your life. So this is why you cannot support people like this that represent demonic figures, because it can bring a lot of bad stuff around. So, and it's just, not good to put yourself around any bad energy or, consume any of that. But I wonder why these people do this. Like, maybe it's for some sort of gain, or like they get paid to promote this sort of stuff. I'm not sure why it's so heavily pushed, but it's getting really, really creepy. Why are they pushing such dark energy on everybody? Shouldn't everybody be worried about being better and being positive? But like, I don't know, there's a lot of dark, evil people out there, so y'all gotta be careful. And they're always right in front of our eyes.
She saw one of the cabin doors was open, but when she looks inside, she sees this. User Dualupe was staying at a cabin for her sister's birthday when she notices a cabin that seemingly looks abandoned with the door left open, so she decides to investigate.
Casita del árbol, así como para niños, no sé, pero se ve muy tenebrosa. No sé si se vaya a caer esto porque está como todo podrido. Y no veo como para encender las luces ni nada. Mira, allá está la cabaña. Y... No tiene luz. Hay como una mesa, ganchitos de ropa y televisor.
Lupe screams in terror as someone or something inside the cabin suddenly shuts the door, but she didn't notice. When she got closer, whoever or whatever this is can be seen quickly moving behind the door. Lupe runs for her life.
This video was terrifying, but I mean, it kind of seems fake because she literally screamed before the door even closed. But you can see some sort of spirit or figure that's standing at the door. It kind of looks like a human, but not really. I don't know, it just seems kind of set up and organized. Nobody screams before something happens, so it does seem like a very scripted reaction. But this video is really creepy, I'm not gonna lie. So whether it's real or not, I don't know. This is just terrifying. And don't do this at home because, well, you wouldn't be at home doing this, but like, just, don't go to creepy abandoned tree houses or something. I don't know, just don't do that.
What is in the baby's room? Is this a spirit?
I would say this video is fake, but you could actually tell that this baby had some sort of reaction from what happened. Like when the light shined and there was something moving around, this baby started crying and was visibly distressed. So there might have actually been something there that we cannot see. Obviously we could see it in the clip, but maybe the baby's seen more than we can see, and we weren't there, so we can't really tell. But it is an ongoing thing that spirits torment people that are vulnerable or more impressionable or can't really say anything, which is why younger people or older people that are going through stuff typically seem to have more interactions with the afterlife. But you know, this is just really terrifying, and you know, make sure you guys keep a good eye on your kids. And yeah,
he was exploring an abandoned prison when he sees a nightmare. A man named Michael was exploring an old abandoned prison in Nashville when he starts hearing eerie voices while walking through the building. As he heads towards the source of the voices, he sees this.
Yeah, I'm at this abandoned prison in Nashville, and I've been hearing voices, and I'm not sure if it's real or not. Oh my god.
A large figure with glowing eyes can be seen lurking in the darkness behind the door, just watching him. Michael takes a few seconds to notice the glowing eyes moving fast. Realizing that it was something big and tall, and likely not human, Michael just decides to turn around and run out of there. The way the figure moved, and based on the height of the eyes, it doesn't appear to be any animal from Nashville. So just what?
I'm just gonna say this is fake so I can sleep tonight, because I promise you, if I walk through that door and I seen a giant monster, I don't know whether to be scared or laugh, because that is definitely one goofy monster. Bro's eyes are spread way too far apart. But then again, like if I seen that in a abandoned dark building, I'm good. But y'all let me know what you think it is in the comments.
This was the only governmentally confirmed case of possession.
We treated it like we were the discovery of any new destructive force.
It's her. She's still doing it.
Much of what we did mirrored the testing procedures used in the early atomic testing.
She's doing it to the dog. What mattered now was national security.
The DoD got involved with the Atticus Institute after they caught wind of her insane psychic abilities.
This was a coordinated military effort with support from the highest levels of the government.
At the same time, the Soviets had also been doing a massive amount of research into paranormal abilities and psychical powers.
We left nothing to chance. All evidence was thoroughly reviewed by top Defense Department analysts. Tissue samples were extracted, blood samples taken.
The U.S. military thought they had just found their perfect subject. However, nothing would go as planned.
Plans were immediately put in place to contain the situation.
Going in.
We don't control this. It's not just us who will be at risk.
What if I told you The Matrix was right when it said 1999 was the peak of human civilization? Think about it. At the end of the 20th century, we had the perfect mix. Technology was exciting but not invasive. The internet was a tool, not a cage. And we still valued face-to-face connections. In the movie, they called it living in a dream world, maybe because we believed everything they told us. Civilization was living in a bubble, shielded from the ugly truths of the system. They also said, at some point in the early 21st century, all of mankind was united in celebration. We marveled at our own magnificence as we gave birth to AI. Prophetic, isn't it? Because right now we're doing just that, celebrating AI, letting it write, create, and even think for us. But here's the scary part. The more it does, the less we do. Just like they said, the moment AI started thinking for us, it stopped being our civilization and started being theirs. And here's the kicker. Evolution. Morpheus. Evolution. And that line wasn't just about machines getting smarter. It's about humanity giving up control, letting the systems we created define what evolution even means. We've gone from shaping the world to being shaped by it. So where is this all heading? A society where algorithms make all the big decisions, where we're plugged into screens 24/7, living in curated realities. It's what they warned us about, but we don't even see it because we're too busy marveling at how convenient everything's become. The Matrix didn't just predict the future, it showed us the path we were already on. And the question is, do we keep walking it, or do we finally wake up? I'm going to go ahead and say this is just a joke for entertainment purposes.
Amanda specializes in talking to the dead. In one instance, Amanda was doing live stream with two friends when all of a sudden, something from the corner of the room catches her attention.
Good? He drank all of it.
Yeah. You good?
Like 10 minutes this went on. And I'm like, oh my god, can you stop?
Oh, you're looking at your cat.
No, somebody just walked through my kitchen and Bobby freaked out. Did you see him run?
I saw it, yeah.
He's still sitting there looking at it.
What is it?
And his like tail is
Yeah, I saw his tail.
Oh man.
Is the person still there?
Bobby, you okay? I don't know. It still like feels really weird in here, but I only saw it like for a second. That's also the same direction that when you said that there were. Oh my god, it's Brendan. He's outside now. Thank God. Brendan? No, he's not.
Stop, Amanda. No, it's not.
No, he's not. There's
Stop.
literally.
Wait, how'd your door just open?
Initially thinking that Brendan, her husband, was messing around with her, she proceeds to open the door. But like something out of a horror movie, she finds no one there. It is at this point when Amanda instinctually shuts and locks the door.
Honestly, the whole communicating to spirits thing, I'm not really too sure. Like, I'd have to look more into that to give my opinion, because a lot of these people just kind of look for attention and they probably can't even really do that stuff. But this clip is really terrifying because it seems to be nobody there, and obviously the cat is even reacting, which it could just be a person, but when they go to the door there seems to be nobody there. But we can't really get a closer look. Maybe someone pushed the door open and ran away. This could be just for a viral moment, obviously, but we'll never really be able to tell. You know, this stuff is obviously real, but do I believe that they could talk to spirits? I'm not too sure, because there's a lot of frauds out there. So y'all let me know your thoughts about this clip in the comments.
Who do you think really runs the world?
You're going to go there, with the question. Who do I think runs the world? So I used to ask the question, I said, who's got the most power in America? Is it Congress? Is it president? Is it the CEOs of virtual governments? We're talking Google, Twitter, Facebook, you know, those guys, Amazon, you know, or is it billionaires? Okay, you know, the most richest man in the world. Who's got the most power? And you'd be amazed how few people say president. Does it come and go? You know, the famous quote with Putin that he says, you know, the American presidents, you don't have to worry about it. They're going to be there 4 to 8 years. Some suits are running, you know, and run the country behind closed doors. And he's got a very good point when he says something like that.
The men in black are real. For decades, people have reported encountering these strange men after they witness a UFO. In many cases, they show up at witnesses' houses in vintage black cars to ask bizarre and intimidating questions. There's also something strange about them, as they appear devoid facial features, or are often sickly pale, and act almost robotic with their movements. It's said that these are either government agents, or aliens trying to cover up UFO activity. That is why many believe.
Did you know that the Statue of Liberty might have a hidden, darker meaning? Stick around because this story is packed with mysterious twists and intriguing facts. And don't forget to follow our channel for more mind-blowing revelations. Some believe that the Statue of Liberty, an iconic symbol of freedom, actually represents Lucifer. Let's dive deeper into this theory. The statue's crown has 7 points, which some say symbolize the 7 deadly sins, a stark contrast to the traditional view of enlightenment and freedom. The torch she holds is another point of contention. It's widely accepted as a beacon of liberty and hope, but some argue it represents Lucifer, often called the light bearer. This interpretation suggests that the statue's light is not about freedom from oppression, but rather a more sinister kind of freedom, freedom from God. There's more. The designer of the statue, Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, was a known Freemason. Some conspiracy theorists suggest that the Masonic influence imbued the statue with hidden esoteric meanings. Could the statue be part of a Luciferian agenda that has been unfolding for centuries? This theory posits that what we celebrate as liberty might be masking an agenda that's far more complex and eerie. Is it mere coincidence, or is there a hidden truth lurking in plain sight? If you found this intriguing, make sure to follow our channel. We've got more
Skinwalkers are real.
I'm not too sure how I feel about Skinwalkers because some of these clips just seem really off and like, how would this even happen? Obviously, that's the whole point of Skinwalker. It's just something that's, you know, you don't really see every day or wouldn't typically catch. But some of these clips just seem very off. Like, they're really scary, don't get me wrong. But like, you know, I'm good. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all and be like, oh my gosh, this is so scary and real. Like, you know, that's just, why would I do that? But, you know, these clips are creepy though. But yeah, I don't know if Skinwalkers are actually chilling out here.
Extremely dark conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. MKUltra, a mysterious project that was covertly conducted by the CIA during the 1950s and 1960s. It was a time when American citizens were selected without their consent to become subjects of experimentation in the field of mind control. As part of this project, a variety of techniques were used, including the administration of hallucinogenic substances like
These are things that people just don't understand about the dark web. Part 2. Number 1, the dark web was actually made by the US government. Tor was actually made in the 90s by the US Navy so the government could have secure communication lines. Now, as you can imagine, this has led to a lot of conspiracy theories, most notably that the government left a backdoor in Tor so they could watch your activity. But this is largely considered a myth now because the Tor project is completely open source and no one has been able to find any proof of any malicious code or backdoors that might allow for this. Number 2, it's actually not illegal to go on the dark web. There's definitely a lot of illegal things that you can do on the dark web, which I don't recommend. Just going on the dark web won't actually get you in trouble as long as you're not doing anything bad. And number 3, the dark web is not just used for bad things. I know in pop culture it has a pretty bad reputation and sounds pretty scary, but there's actually a lot of good use cases for it. For example, a lot of people who live under authoritarian governments have used the dark web to avoid government censorship and let the world know about the human rights violations they're experiencing. Also, a lot of scientists will post their academic articles for free on the dark web to make their research more widely available. If you think this kind of stuff is interesting and you want to learn how to turn it into a high-paying career, follow me and check out my free guide.
I had no idea about this before doing research for this video, but there is a very popular theory that James Earl Ray did not kill Martin Luther King Jr. So much so that the King family filed a civil suit against the state saying that they had the wrong man. Up to the point that Martin's son Dexter King was visiting James Earl Ray nearly weekly in prison talking to him about how they need to get him out. It got to such a point that they put together a committee, also known as the House Select Committee on Assassinations, to determine if MLK was killed by James Earl Ray, which also on that committee they ruled the JFK shooting, and you know how I feel about that one. It'd be no secret that the government hated Martin Luther King, doing everything from denying his concealed carry permit to writing him letters in an attempt to make him kill himself. Several believe that perhaps James Earl Ray was just part of a greater conspiracy, and I went down such a rabbit hole with this there will probably be a deeper dive, so stay tuned.
Man, you ever hear about like this black car, this black trailer thing? What the fuck? Are you okay, man?
Yo, that is actually crazy. Like, could you imagine you're worrying about the well-being of an old lady strolling down the road, and then she just turns to you and starts charging you? Like, what are you doing in this situation, bro? I'm not gonna lie, Granny might have to get the left hook. Good, I'm not trying to get NFL tackled by no old lady, so y'all just be safe out there and watch out for these weird occurrences, I guess.
Infamous serial Son of Sam did not act alone. And by the end of this video, I think you'll agree with me. So, you probably know the Son of Sam story already. In the 1970s in New York City, a man nicknamed the 44 caliber killer, or the Son of Sam, terrorized the city. In total, 11 people were wounded and 6 people were murdered by gun violence. So at the end of the day, evidence led police to the front doorstep of David Berkowitz. And eventually he confessed to the killings, and that was it. History knows him as the only Son of Sam killer. But I think that there were multiple satanic killers that aided in this murder spree. So let's look at some of the evidence. So first of all, this is one of the letters that the Son of Sam sent the newspaper in New York. In it, he says, these are some names to help you: the Wicked King Wicker, the Duke of Death, the 22 Disciples of Hell, and John Wheaties. Now, obviously, this also says Sam's creation, so let's dig into this a little bit. So this is Sam Carr. He lived really close to where Berkowitz lived, and David Berkowitz claimed that it was Sam's dog that instructed him to murder people. In some of the letters, David Berkowitz claims that Sam keeps him chained in the attic and says a lot of stuff about Sam himself. Now, what's interesting is that Sam Carr was actually known by people who lived in the area and police officers to be a very abusive man. He was known to have abused his sons. And now let's talk right here about John Wheaties. This is John, who people presume Son of Sam was talking about in that letter. John Wheat Carr. John Carr was Sam Carr's son. He lived in the same house, and he was allegedly a part of the satanic cult that David Berkowitz also belonged to. Now, one thing people always point out about the Son of Sam killings is that a lot of the sketches of the shooters just don't match up to David Berkowitz. But a lot of people point out that some of them eerily resemble John Carr himself. There's also Michael Carr, John's brother, who allegedly was also in the same satanic cult, and he bears an eerie resemblance to some of these sketches too. Now, there are a lot of strange details about John Carr's life and his possible involvement with this murder spree, but one of the strangest things I think about this entire case is how John Carr died right after Son of Sam, David Berkowitz, was arrested. So John Carr served in the Air Force in North Dakota, and right before David Berkowitz was arrested and found out to be the Son of Sam killer, he moved back to North Dakota. Now, what's interesting is that friends of John Carr who lived in North Dakota claimed later on that John had mentioned David Berkowitz's name a number of times before he was arrested. This is a proven link between the two, that he was very, very familiar with David Berkowitz. Other people who knew John Carr in North Dakota also claimed that he did satanic rituals in his house and outside of his house. Even the local sheriff in Minot, North Dakota claimed that John Carr had sacrificed German shepherds, just like the German shepherds that were sacrificed as a part of the Son of Sam murders. So in February of 1978, less than a year after Son of Sam was arrested, John Carr went to seek mental health help in North Dakota. And his counselor later went on the record and said that John Carr talked to them about his involvement with the occult and Satanism. At one point, John Carr told the people that he knew in North Dakota that he had something to go handle in New York City, and he never opened up about what it was that he had to go do in the city. And a short while later, John Carr was found in his home in Minot, North Dakota, less than a year after the Son of Sam murders ended. People believe that John Carr was the trigger man in a number of these shootings. And although his was initially ruled an unaliving by himself, now it's been regarded as more of a murder because of the way that he had been shot and killed. And it was also reported that there was a pentagram and other satanic things written in blood around John Carr's body when it was discovered by the police. Then there's Michael Carr, John Carr's brother. He also was reportedly a member of the Son of Sam cult, and it's also been reported that he was the trigger man in some of these cases. This is what people who research this case believe. And about a year and a half after David Berkowitz was arrested, Michael Carr died in a very suspicious car accident. He was driving really fast on the road in New York City, and he just smashed into something on the side of the road. Nobody else was injured in this car accident. He was basically just found on the side of the road inside of his vehicle. People obviously claim that he was ran off the road, he was forced to crash his car, and he was killed. But the more you dig into the Son of Sam conspiracy, the more you're going to be convinced that David Berkowitz did not kill all of his victims. This is literally only the very, very beginning of this. If you want to hear more about this, let me know. I'm very passionate about this topic, so I'll make a part 2.
Okay, so tell him, Mom.
Pues ahorita voy a ver porque mi papá creo que está aquí cuidándome, cuidando a mis hijos y creo que él sí me está escuchando.
Okay, do it.
Pa, si me estás escuchando y estás aquí con nosotros, abre la puerta.
Explain, the door's closed.
La puerta estaba cerrada
Okay, close it again so we can do it one more time.
y voy a...
Let's try it one more time, guys. Go, Mom.
Okay, pa.
And we're gonna show you guys that we're not lying. Push on it, Brianna. Hard.
I'm really not too sure how this stuff works. Obviously, we don't know too much about the afterlife, so it's really hard to tell if this is actually someone in their family that passed away, or if this is some sort of spirit that is messing with them. The door's opening and nobody's doing it. But, you know, it's hard to tell whether this is the actual person or there's something in between that's messing with them, trying to get their attention. And evil spirits are going to do anything they can to gain people's trust and, you know, let themselves into people's lives to create more dark energy and take over. There's no telling what could be going on, but y'all make sure you stay safe and watch out for stuff like this because it's really scary.
President Kennedy was because he was going to release information on this. It's a burned document that was found, I want to say like 6 or 7 years ago. And it talked about buildings being on the dark side of the moon. He was in the Navy. He had a top security clearance. He was going to be handling video and film that came back from combat missions. And he goes, he got brought into a room one day. He said, the guy said, stay here, wait right here, I'll be right back. And he goes, so I'm standing in this dark room where they're developing the film. And the guy says, hey man, you want to see something really cool? Come over here. So he's like, oh, okay. So he goes, I go over there and check it out. And he starts showing me buildings on the dark side of the moon. And he said to me, these aren't ours. 40 different creatures that were coming here, 40 different aliens or 40 different terrestrials, ETs that were coming here. One of the former prime ministers of England said the U.S. has been dealing with a group called the Tall Whites for like the last 15 or 20 years. The Tall Whites were a group of very Nordic looking extraterrestrials, very tall, light hair, just very, very big. There was some talk that in the early 30s that there was a guy, his name was Thor, and he was a tall white, and he was working within the Senate and Congress. So, you know, UFOs were as real as planes that fly over your house. I mean, he said, there's no denying it. They're there. You know, we know they're there.
Thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your favorite part of the video made you tremble in your boots, and we're going to be on to the next one.